Hello, and welcome to Module 6 of Linking Literacy and Assessment. This week we are going to talk about working with culturally and linguistically diverse students. And this is the week that we were talking about in the beginning that you will need to be working with an ELL child. So if you've already selected an ELL child with which to work, you may not actually have as much to do this week as somebody who did not. Now, if you did not select an ELL child to work with from the beginning, that's okay too. We have plenty of options for you with this week's assignment. First off, you need to know that there is no discussion board this week, so you're off the hook on that one. But you do have two assignments due this week that you need to think about, and they're actually related, and you are welcome to use any information that you already used in your previous assessment-based instruction report on this assignment if you're using the same child. And these two assignments that you're doing this week are linked together, so you can use the assignment, the information from both assignments together, so it's not quite two the amount of work that two different assignments would be. So your first assignment this week is called administering um, reading assessments to an ELL child. And what you're going to be doing with that is giving three different assessments. The first one is concepts about print, the other is alphabet knowledge, and the last is dictation. And you can choose any ELL child ages 4 to 8 to give these tests to, and then you're going to be writing a report about how the child did on these tests. And so you do need to include a summary of the results, an analysis of their responses, like why did they respond and do the way that they did on these tests. Then go ahead and discuss the effect of their limited English proficiency on these assessments and how you would compensate as a teacher and how they should compensate as a student. Then you're going to suggest 3 to 5 different actions that you would do to improve the child's performance on these assessments. And so these are different actions that you would take as the tutor or the teacher to help the child improve on these different assessments. These actions, and this paper is a professional piece. It would be as if you were writing this maybe for the child's portfolio, to the child's principal, to the literacy specialist at the school. So you're going to be using professional language and also using citations from your text and from the course to back up your responses. So that's the first piece. This is a 3 to 5 page paper, and that does not include all of the assessment materials. You're going to include those. Then in addition to that, 3 to 5 pages. Okay, and so the second part of this is the ELL communication report. And what this is a fictitious letter to the child's family. You're not actually going to give this to them. So you're going to write it as if it's a letter, and you're going to talk to them about how they did on these tests and give these parents 5 recommendations that they can do at home with the child. These have to be things that they can do at home. So if you know they have a computer with internet access, then yes, you can include websites and things for them. But if they do not, then don't include those things. We want it to be useful, a useful tool for the parents. You are not going to use educational terms for these parents that they may not understand without having taken an education course. They may not know the terms phonological awareness or phonemic awareness, and that's okay. We're not going to use those terms to write this letter to these parents because that's not useful to them. You're going to tell them as parents what they can do to help their child. And that's the second piece of this assignment. I also wanted to add that this week you will have a 2 extra point activity because we did not do one in the last module. So for 2 points this week, you may go into the ongoing tutoring discussion, and if you can provide a website or some sort of activity that would be great to do with an ELL child. Perhaps it would even an article, a journal article to read about teaching ELL children. I also wanted to mention that if you do not have an ELL child that you're already working with, you may choose an ELL child just for this specific activity, and that's fine to just work with them the one time, or you may use the video that's provided for you in this week's module. So you actually have a few choices there. And as always, if you have any questions, you may email me or talk to me during my office hours. I'm happy to help at any time. So thank you very much, and I hope you have a wonderful week working with your ELL students.